So lately, there have been rumors about multiple Assassin's Creed remakes. One of them is heavily rumored to be Black Flag, but the other, known as codename Stardust, is more of a mystery. Now, many fans have been hoping that Stardust is actually an Assassin's Creed 1 remake, but if that's the case, Ubisoft has a problem. A massive one. Remaking the original Assassin's Creed comes with some serious risks. Should they just update the visuals, or do they need to change the core gameplay, the story, and everything in between? If they get this wrong, could AC1's legacy be ruined forever? I asked some of you what you think, and opinions vary from a simple remaster to a complete reimagination. So let's break it all down, and if you're into Assassin's Creed content, hit that subscribe button for more. First, let's address the elephant in the room. Assassin's Creed 1 turns 18 this November. Despite its legacy, the game never received a remaster and is still unavailable on the latest PlayStation consoles. On PC, it's plagued with severe technical issues that can mostly be fixed with fan-made patches, but even then, the experience isn't exactly smooth. Some fans just want a way to play this game, and for them a simple remaster, native 4K, 60 frames per second, upscaled cutscenes and slight improvements to shadows would be enough. And to be fair, Ubisoft isn't a stranger to remastering AC games either. They've already done it multiple times, but most of those weren't exactly well received. Whether it was broken lighting, awkward visual change, or just a bare minimum effort, these remasters often failed to deliver anything more than a subpar version of the originals. If they did the same for AC1, there would be one major problem, and no, I'm not even talking about the visuals. For an 18-year-old game, AC1 has actually aged surprisingly well in terms of art direction, but its gameplay not so much. Even if some fans want an untouched, authentic remaster, the unskippable dialogues, repetitive side missions, and limited mechanics compared to later games would make it feel restrictive. Now, I love the original and Altair's story as much as everyone else, but let's be real. By today's standards, AC1 doesn't hold up as well, and Ubisoft probably knows that. That's likely why they never touched it. That said, out of all the options we'll explore next, a simple remaster would probably be the least criticized. It would be still seen as a lazy, uninspired move, but at least it would respect the original, even if it doesn't fix anything. Now, what if Ubisoft remade Assassin's Creed 1, but only in terms of visuals? Some fans would be happy with that, a one-to-one remake that keeps the gameplay intact, but fully overhauls the graphics to meet modern standards. We've seen plenty of games take this approach before, and at first it sounds like the best of both worlds. A visually stunning AC1 that stays faithful to the original, but there's a problem. A visual remake is a double-edged sword. On one hand, it could look incredible. On the other, capturing the original's atmosphere and tone is easier said than done. It's a gamble. This could turn out like Demon's Souls, a beautiful visual remake that almost nailed what made the original special. Or it could go the other way like the GTA Trilogy remaster, which completely butchered the games. But even if Ubisoft nails the visuals, the biggest question is, would this justify a $50 or even $70 price tag? Because as I said before, AC1's problems run far deeper than its graphics. Alright, now this is where things get really interesting. A full remake wouldn't just mean better graphics, it would mean completely reworking the gameplay and even tweaking parts of the story. First up, parkour. Assassin's Creed 1's movement is slow. A remake would need AC2's speed, AC3's fluidity, and additions like corner swings, zip lines, and lifts to make traversal feel smooth and modern. And if you're wondering why city design needs improvement too, you should check the video in the corner of your screen. Then there's the stealth. AC1 desperately needs AC2's social stealth, more assassination tools, and even a notoriety system so you're not constantly getting dragged into fights. And speaking of fights, combat needs a serious overhaul. Right now, it's slow, basic, and way too easy. A remake should make enemies smarter and tougher, while giving Altair more weapons and tools to make combat actually feel rewarding. But the biggest problem is side quests. AC1's side content was bare bones and repetitive. A remake needs new and varied missions that fit into the world without ruining the original game's tone. And then there's the story. While some tweaks could help tie AC1 into Origins, the real problem is the modern day segments. Desmond's arc is done, so do they cut it entirely from the remake or reinvent it with the Animus hub? Overall, this would be the safe remake, keeping AC1's core intact but improving everything around it. But here's a real challenge. Assassin's Creed 1 runs on ancient tech by today's standards, and remaking its gameplay as faithfully as possible while aligning with the franchise's current direction seems like a near impossible task. So is Ubisoft even willing to take this on? This is why a full reimagination might be the easier route. If Ubisoft were to reimagine AC1 instead of doing a traditional remake, it would probably look a lot like Mirage, faithful to the original but with modern twists. Think of it like how Final Fantasy VII Rebirth takes inspiration from the classic while carving its own path. In this case, they wouldn't just retell Altair's story, they would expand it. Imagine them bringing in side stories from Bloodlines and Altair's Chronicles, fleshing out his character and adding new missions, side content and lore connections to tie everything together. But here's another challenge: the world. AC1's map was fragmented, empty and filled with pointless collectibles. A reimagined version needs seamless world design like Mirage or the RPG trilogy, and if they plan to keep the Kingdom area, it needs a major overhaul. Otherwise, it's better off gone. In that case, each city should be its own separate map, connected by loading screens. Gameplay-wise, they would have to modernize target discovery with the target board from recent games, add black box missions, overhaul stealth with new tools and AI improvements, and fix combat, which was one of AC1 and Mirage's biggest issues. Assassin's Creed 1's large cities also demand a notoriety system that actually makes citywide chases dynamic and unpredictable. But the biggest challenge for this reimagination is parkour. If they built the game on Mirage's parkour system, which was just a refined version of the RPG trilogies, it could strip away the intricacy of the Desmond era movement. AC1's city design was built around its unique traversal, so tweaking one means changing the other, and in the process, some of the original's magic could be lost. That being said, do you think if Ubisoft Bordeaux, the team behind Mirage, got the time and budget they needed, could they truly deliver the AC1 remake fans want? Especially given how experienced they are now. At the end of the day, there's no winning move for Ubisoft. No matter what they do with AC1, remaster, remake or reimagination, it's impossible to please everyone. With the franchise's 20th anniversary just 2 years away, fans are hoping for something big. But as I've laid out, actually getting this right would be a massive challenge. Personally, I would rather skip remakes entirely. I'd rather see Ubisoft move forward than keep redoing the past. Sure, with Valhalla's modern-day story setup, they could technically justify remaking every game, but should they? That's a different story. That said, if I had to choose, I would go with a full-blown remake. And if they're going that route, they might as well add the handheld games as DLC or extra content. Those stories are underrated and would only add more depth to Altair's legacy. But what about you? Should AC1 be reborn or should Ubisoft leave the past behind? Let me know in the comments below.